Imagine standing in the heart of a blazing fire and feeling no pain. The flames lick around you, wild and bright, but you remain untouched. This isn't a tale of physical fireproofing. It's a metaphor for emotional strength. In life and love, fire often comes in the form of heated moments, sudden drama, or intense emotional tests. And as a man, you may have felt those moments. When she pulls fire, when a woman in your life unleashes a surge of emotion or conflict, waiting to see if you'll burn or stand strong. Picture this. You're on a date that's going well, and out of the blue, she mentions an ex texting her, or flirts lightly with the waiter. In that split second, she's watching you closely. Will you bristle with jealousy? Will you burn up with insecurity? Or will you smile, unshaken, as if to say, I know who I am. I'm not threatened by a spark. Moments like these are more than random social hiccups. They're often unspoken tests, conscious or subconscious, designed to reveal what kind of man you are under pressure. It might sound like games, but think of it from her perspective. She needs to feel your strength. She needs to know that when her world runs hot or cold, you won't crumble. Modern dating is full of these little fires. Maybe she takes a few hours to reply to your text, leaving you in suspense. Maybe she cancels plans last minute to see how you react. Maybe she gives you the silent treatment when something's on her mind. In those moments of delay, silence, or sudden change, many men panic. They double text, they get angry, or they start doubting themselves. They let the flame scorch them. But an unshakable man does something different. He waits. He breathes. He remains calm and centered. He might respond eventually with thoughtfulness, or even a bit of humor, but he doesn't leap into a frantic reaction. By doing nothing or very little, by staying cool, he's saying everything. I won't be controlled by fear. I won't be rushed by uncertainty. I'm secure in myself. Staying composed in these scenarios isn't about playing coy or manipulative. It's about genuinely being okay no matter what. If she texts back, great. If she doesn't, you're still fine. This is the philosophy of the unshakable man. Your mood and self-worth aren't dictated by anyone else's whims. You care about her, yes, but you don't need her validation to feel valued. There's a saying, born of hard truth. The harder you try to impress, the less impressive you become. It's counterintuitive, but time and again, we see it. The man who overextends himself to win her approval usually ends up looking less appealing, while the man who is confident in his own skin naturally draws others in. Why? Because women aren't ultimately drawn to a bunch of performative efforts. They're drawn to the essence of who you are. Your essence, your calm, your confidence, your purpose, is what shines when all the flashy attempts and nervous reactions fall away. So when she pulls fire, be it an emotional outburst, a sassy comment, or a sudden cold shoulder, what do? The answer, in a word, is nothing and everything. Nothing hasty, nothing panicked, and everything that constitutes holding your frame. You hold steady. Think of a great ship at sea. When a wave hits, it doesn't immediately change course or capsize. It absorbs the wave, it rides it out, then continues on its path. You too stay your course. This might mean listening calmly if she's upset, rather than getting defensive. It might mean smiling if she makes a sarcastic jab instead of snapping back. It could mean shrugging off a flirtatious test with a playful quip, rather than fuming. Your steadiness is your power. It quietly says, I'm not here to fight you or anyone. I'm rooted. If you're looking for something to knock down, it won't be me. Understand, an unshakable man is not a man who feels nothing. He's not a cold, unfeeling robot. In fact, he might feel everything deeply, but he's learned the art of control. He can feel the surge of anger or hurt or ego when faced with her fire, and then he can choose not to act on it blindly. He can take that beat of a pause, that deep breath, and let the initial flames pass by. Then he responds from a place of intention, not impulse. This is the essence of masculine self-possession. I have myself. I own my reactions. My emotions do not own me. It's incredibly powerful. For you, and intriguingly, for her as well. A woman might not articulate it, but when she encounters a man who won't be emotionally rattled by her swings or tests, a profound thing happens. She feels safer. She senses that with you, her own storms can calm, because you won't add fuel to the fire. Think about it. If she's upset and throws a tantrum, and you respond with equal fury or panic, the fire just rages hotter. But if she's upset, and you remain patient and present, her flames have nothing to latch onto. they dwindle. Your calm is like an oxygen deprivation to drama. The fire eventually dims in the space of your tranquility. Suddenly, what could have been a night of fighting might become a quiet conversation, simply because you didn't fan the flames. If you get defensive, you fail. If you stay calm, you win. It's a simple formula that plays out time and again. Now, being unshakable doesn't mean you tolerate disrespect or become a passive doormat. Far from it. In fact, a truly grounded man often commands more respect because of his calm boundaries. Imagine a scenario. She's hurling harsh words in a heated moment. An average guy might yell back or crumble, but an unshakable man will look her in the eye and say quietly, "I'm going to step away until we can talk respectfully." Not angrily. Not as a threat, just stated with firm calm. That is immensely powerful. It shows he respects himself and her too much to engage in toxic exchange. He removes the fuel from the fire. He doesn't lecture or control her. He controls himself, which in turn often diffuses the situation. In that calm retreat or pause, she has a chance to reflect, to cool down, and often, to respect him more. Real-life example, consider texting, that modern minefield of misunderstandings. Say you text her something important and she replies with a curt, one-word answer, or maybe doesn't reply at all for half a day. The fire is in your chest now. The anxiety, the overthinking. Did I say something wrong? Is she losing interest? A shaky man might barrage her with "everything okay?" or "why aren't you answering?" or plunge into despair. But the unshakable man? He puts his phone down and gets back to his life. Maybe he goes to the gym, focuses on work, or enjoys a hobby. When he eventually hears from her, he responds thoughtfully, not resentfully. Perhaps he even pokes a little light fun. "Ah, I figured you got kidnapped by aliens for a moment there," with a wink. And if she doesn't text back at all, he still sleeps fine that night, knowing that he will be okay regardless. Ironically, that attitude of "I'm good either way" often becomes the very reason she does come back. Women can sense when a man is desperate for her response versus when he's confidently patient. That confident patience is magnetic. It shows you're a man with a full life, not a boy anxiously waiting by the phone. Let's talk about female psychology here for a moment. Not academic theories or jargon, just observations from the real world. Many women, especially those who are used to lots of male attention, have learned that not all that glitters is gold. A man might seem charming and cool at first, but how he handles pressure reveals his true mettle. So consciously or not, a woman will present a challenge or two, pull some fire, to see what you're made of. She might tease you in a slightly critical way. "Do you always dress like this?" said with a sly grin, to see if you get flustered or defensive. She might swing between affectionate and distant to observe whether you'll chase after her frantically when she pulls away. She might check your confidence by mentioning the guy who complimented her at work, just to see if you'll turn green with envy. These behaviors aren't because she's cruel or crazy. Often it's instinctive. She needs to know, can you handle me? Can you handle life? Or will I overpower you? A woman often yearns for a man who can be her rock, because if you remain solid, she can relax and trust and let her guard down. But to find that rock, she might toss a few waves your way first. It's like testing a foundation by applying pressure. No one wants to build a house on a foundation that cracks at the first tremor. In the same way, she doesn't want to invest her heart in a man who falls apart at the first sign of trouble. If you can't handle the small fires, a bit of teasing, a bit of waiting, a bit of disagreement, how will you handle the big ones life inevitably brings? So these little tests are her way, again, often subconsciously, of asking, is he as strong as he appears? Does he really have himself together? When you answer with your action, or measured inaction, by staying cool, you prove, yes, I'm solid, I won't break, you're safe with me. Now, you might be thinking, why do I have to put up with these games? I wish she'd just be straightforward. It's a valid feeling. But here's the reframe. This isn't about playing games, it's about demonstrating character. And truthfully, life will test you, one way or another. If not her, then your job, other people, fate itself. Developing this unshakable quality isn't just to appease a woman. It's to fortify yourself for everything. Every time you remain calm under pressure, you're training an inner muscle. You're becoming a man who can handle whatever comes, be it a breakup, a job loss, a family crisis, you name it. So think of these smaller trials as chances to practice. And when the test comes from a woman you care about, remember that passing it benefits both of you. It's not you versus her. Ideally, it's you and her versus the problem. By not combusting, You create space for understanding. Let's delve into the power of masculine self-possession. We hear phrases like, hold your frame, or stay in your center often. But what do they really mean? Holding your frame means you maintain your sense of self and composure no matter what external pressure comes at you. It's like being a frame of a sturdy house. The winds can howl, the ground can shake, but the frame stands firm, keeping everything intact. When you're with a woman, holding your frame could be as simple as not abandoning your opinions just because she disagrees. It could be sticking to your plan when she tests you with a sudden change, unless there's a good reason to adapt. It definitely means not panicking about losing her approval every second. Paradoxically, the moment a man truly believes he'll be okay without her, he often stops needing to prove it. And she feels that. Suddenly, you're not reacting out of fear, because the fear of, oh no, what if she leaves, isn't looming over you. You're making choices out of self-respect and authenticity, and that energy is potent. Women feel it. Have you ever seen how a woman's eyes light up around a man who's confident and at ease with himself? It's not always about looks or money or witty lines. It's often about an aura of, I am enough. I am not afraid. A man who carries himself with that quiet certainty and purpose doesn't need to chase. He naturally attracts. It's the guy who can walk away from drama who usually never has to walk away, because drama finds no purchase in his presence. If she screams and he responds softly, that dynamic can't sustain itself. Either she calms or she leaves, but either way, he wins by not letting chaos control him. Now, let's use a modern metaphor. Think of a dating scenario as a kind of dance. Sometimes the woman might throw in a dramatic dip or a sudden change in tempo just to see if you can lead without stumbling. If every time the music shifts, you lose your footing, it's not a very confident dance. But if you maintain your rhythm and guide the dance through the unexpected beats, she'll trust your lead more and more. In practical terms, she throws a curveball question about your past. So, are you a player? How many girls have you brought here? She asks with a raised eyebrow. The shaky guy will either overly defend, no, never, I swear, or become flustered and apologetic. The unshakable man, however, might chuckle and answer in a straightforward, calm way, maybe with a touch of playful confidence. I don't keep count. I just focus on the one I'm with now. Delivered with a steady gaze and a small smile. That response shows neither shame nor arrogance. It simply shows you're not thrown by the question. You met her little surge of fire with a steady flame of your own. Yes, have your own flame. This is key. Being unshakable isn't about being dull or emotionless. It's about having your own steady fire burning within. Your values, your purpose, your self-love. Those are your inner fire. When those burn steady and bright, someone else's fire won't easily consume you because you're already lit from within. It's like two candles. If she's the flickering flame testing the air, you're the steady candle that doesn't flicker because you're shielded by a glass. Your light continues, unwavering. And interestingly, a steady light often calms a flickering one. Let's bring in another real-life snapshot. You're in a relationship and she's having a bad day. She's venting, maybe even throwing some frustration your way unjustly. I can't believe you don't understand. You never listen, she might snap, even though you're trying to help. The immediate fire here is accusatory and hurtful. Many of us would react with equal parts hurt. What do you mean I never listen? After all I do, you're saying this? And now it's a full-blown blaze of argument. But imagine instead you hold your ground gently, you let her words hit, and you observe the emotions rising in you without letting them dictate your next move. You realize, maybe, it's not truly about you. So you stay present and reply softly, I can see you're really upset. I am listening. Tell me what's really bothering you. No sarcasm, no smirk, just calm presence. That response is like a splash of cool water on a flame. Maybe she was expecting a fight. Sometimes when we hurt, we want the other person to engage in that heat. But you didn't fuel it. You acknowledged her emotion without catching fire yourself. In doing so, you give her a chance to actually express the deeper issue. The moment moves from conflict to understanding, all because you choose not to react to the situation, but to act on it. There's immense power in metaphor when thinking about these dynamics. Consider the oak tree and the storm. The winds howl and the oak's branches sway. Leaves may fly off, but its trunk, its core, remains firmly rooted. The storm passes, and the tree is still there, strong as ever. In the face of emotional storms, strive to be that oak. Or consider rock and water. Water flows around the rock. It may splash, it may even wear the rock down slightly over time. But in the moment of impact, the rock stands steady, and the water yields and moves around it. Your woman's emotions might crash over you like waves, but if you are solid rock, those emotions will eventually recede, and you'll still be standing. One more. The eye of the storm. At the center of a hurricane, there's a calm eye. Be the calm eye for her. Within your aura, even if chaos swirls outside, there's a space of peace that she can enter. That's what an unshakable man provides, not by force, but by simply being. By embodying calm, you invite calm. All this talk of enduring her fire isn't to say a relationship is all about enduring pain, not at all. In fact, when you consistently demonstrate this unshakable nature, the relationship often stops being fiery in a negative way and becomes warm, glowing, passionate in a positive way. She realizes she doesn't need to test you as much because she trusts you now. She's seen that you won't crack, so she feels safe. Safe to be herself. Safe to lean on you, and safe to let her guard down and show her softer side. Many women have a soft, loving, nurturing side that only fully emerges when they feel truly secure with a man. Your calm resilience builds that security. It tells her inner self, okay, I can relax. I don't have to throw things at him to see if he'll run. He's here, like a rock. I can rest. And let's not forget, being unshakable is attractive, plain and simple. When you don't react with desperation or rage, you stand out. Think about the majority of guys out there. Conditioned by fear of loss or wounded ego, many will act needy, or blow up, or become passive-aggressive at the slightest provocation. Those reactions are everywhere. They're ordinary. But the man who's calm under fire, he's extraordinary. He commands respect without ever demanding it. It's like seeing a hero in an action movie walking away slowly as explosions go off behind him. He doesn't even flinch because he knows he's got it under control. That image, that vibe, leaves an impression. In the context of love and dating, it leaves an impression on her heart and mind. She'll remember, he didn't lose his cool. That was different. That was mature. That was sexy. You might be thinking, this sounds great, but how do I actually become this unshakable man? After all, we're human. Emotions can get the best of us. You might not always feel strong, and that's okay. The first step is awareness. Just by hearing this, you're planting a seed in your mind. Next time a test comes, you'll notice it. Ah, I'm feeling that heat rise. This is one of those moments. I have a choice here. That little pause of awareness is golden. Use it. Take a breath. Literally, take a deep breath. It's almost cliché, but it's incredibly effective. A deep breath gives your rational brain a moment to catch up with your emotional brain. In that space, remind yourself silently, stay cool, be the oak. Even a simple mantra like I am steady can anchor you. Also, prepare yourself in everyday life. Cultivate a life that doesn't revolve around seeking approval. Have your mission. Work on something you're passionate about. Hit the gym and build your physical strength, which often supports mental strength. Maintain solid friendships. Practice a hobby or skill that gives you confidence. All these things fill your life with a sense of self. They make you realize you're already whole. Then, when you're interacting with a woman you like, she's an addition to your happiness, not the sole source of it. That mindset naturally lessens any desperation or overreaction on your part. If she pulls away or gets fiery, it won't feel like your world is ending. Because your world was never just about her. It was about you and the rich life you lead. This perspective isn't selfish. It's healthy, and ironically, it makes you a better partner because you're able to give love out of choice, not out of need. In practicing being unshakable, you'll also find that you respect yourself more. Every time you pass one of these tests by staying calm, you can quietly pat yourself on the back. I handled that. I kept my cool. This builds self-respect, which in turn builds confidence, creating a virtuous cycle. Self-respect also means that if someone's fire becomes truly toxic or abusive, you have the strength to walk away entirely. Being unshakable doesn't mean standing in flames that will genuinely destroy you. It means recognizing you're strong enough to step out of any fire that's unhealthy. Sometimes the most unshakable thing a man can do is leave a destructive situation with his dignity intact, rather than staying and being whittled down. But in most everyday scenarios, it's not about extremes. It's about those little moments where choosing calm over chaos makes all the difference. Over time, you might even come to appreciate the tests. They become moments you can showcase and reaffirm your growth. What used to trigger you now barely ruffles your feathers, and you can smile internally, knowing how far you've come. Perhaps you even respond with compassion, seeing that her attempt to ignite you was perhaps coming from her own insecurity or past hurts. and instead of reacting with hurt, you respond with understanding. That's a level up, when your strength is so secure that you can respond with gentleness. As we near the end of this reflection, let's circle back to the poetic image we began with, fire and the man who doesn't burn. Ask yourself, who do I want to be in the face of fire? You have a choice. You can be the man who is easily set aflame by circumstances, who burns hot, then burns out. Or you can be the man who, through patience and inner work, has become fireproof in the ways that matter. The one who can walk through the fires of dating drama, relationship tests, even life's adversity, and emerge with integrity and calm intact. Remember, being fireproof emotionally isn't a gift bestowed at birth. It's a skill, a philosophy, and a practice. Every man can cultivate it. It's built in those small moments. When you choose silence instead of an impulsive retort, a grin instead of a grimace, a steady heartbeat instead of a racing pulse. It's built in self-talk and perspective, reminding yourself that no matter what someone else does, you remain the author of your reaction. It's built in knowing that you are enough, that you don't need to prove yourself at every turn, especially not through emotional fireworks. So the next time she pulls fire, take it as a cue to slow down, to recall this philosophy. Let the flames dance, let them illuminate the moment, but do not let them consume you. Maybe even admire the intensity of the fire without identifying with it. And when she sees that her fire doesn't incinerate your composure, a few things will likely happen. 1. She'll feel a newfound respect and attraction, because you just proved yourself to be rarer than most. 2. She might soften, realizing she's with a man who won't be easily shaken, and that realization brings her comfort. 3. You will feel a surge of personal pride and confidence, knowing, I did it. I stayed cool. I am truly growing into the man I want to be. In closing, think of the unshakable men you've admired in your life, or even in stories. They all share this trait, an inner stillness. The world can throw its worst at them, and they respond on their own terms, not out of panic. You are absolutely capable of this stillness. It's already within you. It just needs to be practiced and brought to the surface. When she pulls fire and you don't burn, it doesn't mean the challenges stop. It means you've decided that nothing and no one will make you lose sight of yourself. And that decision, my friend, is life-changing. So here's your final thought to take with you. Be the calm in a chaotic world. Be the steady flame that doesn't falter. In doing so, you not only elevate your relationships with women, but you elevate your relationship with yourself. When you master this, you'll find that unshakable isn't just something you do, it's something you are. And the man you are, at his core, cannot be burned by any outside fire. He is the fire, controlled and warm, lighting the way instead of scorching the earth. Go forward and embody that philosophy. Stand tall, remain calm, and let the world, and the women in it, feel the solid presence of an unshakable man. You'll find that when the flames arise, you welcome them with a tranquil smile. They test you. They may even tempt you, but they do not define you. You define you, and that makes all the difference. When she pulls fire, you won't burn. You'll simply shine.